This beat low-key go hard.
For real though, I'm not gonna lie.
What's up with it, y'all, man? Thank y'all for tuning in.
What's happening?
Yet again, another reaction video. I got a little eager. I think we should have did another one.
Yeah, man. I mean, but the last one was pretty fun though. So
It was
pretty fun. Let me button up my button here. Let me get it here.
Looking like a real cholo, man.
I'm trying to, G. I'm trying to get my Debo going here. There we go. Look at me.
Let him go now.
You feel me? What you got on my 40, homie?
Hey, say no more locked doors. All right, man. So, if you guys tuned in with us last time, y'all seen that this man above me hit us with some crazy shit. Like some wild.
Don't get mad at me, bro.
If nobody tuned into the last episode, I'm gonna give you a brief summary. All right, so you can go tune in and actually see for yourself. All I'm gonna say is there was a man that was penetrated by a horse.
Named Mr. Hands.
Mr. Hands.
He passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah, because he took all of that. All right, so tune into the last episode to see the rest because it was just a bit much. So today, I'm gonna hit y'all with something that I felt like, why not? You know what I'm saying? And if anybody knows Rigger, he stands very strongly on his opinions. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just put it out like that. Okay.
What is that supposed to mean? Is that a good or bad?
So today we got this, man. I have yet to see it. It was just the title of it just really took me. So I was like, we have to do this tonight.
What does the title say right there?
It's inside of a Nigerian death factory.
Oh, bro. I'm not going to lie to you, G. I've already seen this.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, we might have to just do a couple minutes of this, man, for the people.
Bro, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, so let's see.
Let's go.
In 2014, a group of young men discovered an abandoned-looking warehouse surrounded by barbed wire in the middle of a Nigerian forest. Today's story is about the absolute horror they found inside of that building. Today's episode is going to be extremely upsetting, extremely graphic. As such, viewer discretion is advised.
So yeah, like I said, this is my first time watching this. Hope y'all ain't got no kids around.
This is a really wild story here.
I just want to take a moment and say that shout out to Mr. Ballin just for giving me stuff to create content with. So thank you for your content so we can make our content, bro.
Bro, Chopper
But
got
before we
the
get
toy.
into today's story, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you come to the right place because that's all we do, and we upload once or twice every week. So if that's of interest to you, please offer the like button a free session of acupuncture, but as soon as they're lying down, go ahead and administer a full body allergy test. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. All right,
And
let's
shout out to Mr. Baldwin though. Real talk. Is his name Mr. Baldwin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, Merry Christmas Eve to people out there. It's
Yeah,
as you
happy
see
Kwanzaa.
my clock. It says 10:59. Where I used to live at, it's 11:59. So I jumped into it. You feel me?
In Nigeria, motorcycle taxi drivers are called Okadas, and Ibadan, which is one of Nigeria's biggest cities, home to 3.5 million people.
What city
there
is it
are
right there?
Damn.
Pause that.
Okadas.
Ibadan.
However,
Ibadan's in the north, I think.
But
So
dude,
let me
he
double
said
check
he
this.
said that they had 3 million people population there alone.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
a lot of people.
Bro, hold on. Nigeria has a population over 300 million, bro. Nigeria's population is more than America's population. There's more Nigerians than all Americans.
However, despite their massive numbers, these Ibadan Okadas are actually a fairly tight-knit community
I think
made up
Ibadan's up
primarily
north,
of
though.
young men. And so in early 2014, when 2 of these Okadas went missing, the community immediately found out about it and was really concerned. And when the police did not appear to be doing much to actually go out and find these 2 guys, the community of Okadas decided to launch a search of their own. Basically, as they went about
So
their day,
Ibadan's the third largest city in Nigeria.
all of these Okadas would be going down side streets and looking in back
The third
alleys and
largest?
checking all
The
over
third
the city
largest.
for their missing members. But despite their best efforts, they never could find them. Then, on March 22nd of that year, a third Ibadan
But
Okada,
boy, you know this one here.
a young man named Lanre Sadiku. And unlike the other 2 riders who went missing while they were at home, Lanre went missing while he was working. Lanre was part of a group of Okadas within the city who all kind of met up on the same city street, and that's where they stayed throughout the course of their day, trying to wave down fares as they came up. And so everyone in that meetup point all knew each other, and so they all knew Lanre. And on the day he went missing, they recalled seeing him driving away from this meetup point with 2 passengers on the back of his bike. Now, typically, the rides these Okadas would offer to their passengers were very short. They're only driving them just around the city. And so it was very quickly noticed that Lanre had left and after several hours had still not come back yet. When it was noticed by the other Okadas, they began talking about it, and someone said, give him a call, make sure he's okay. And so they called his cell phone, and Lanre did not pick up, which was highly unusual, not just for Lanre, but amongst the other Okadas. They always have their phones on because they're looking for new customers, and customers could be calling them. And so their cell phone is a vital part of their work.
So they just be
his phone
networking.
is off. They don't really know what to think of that. And then out of nowhere,
They be on them jacks.
this group of riders. However, he was calling them on his second cell phone. Lanre would keep a work phone and a personal phone. So he was calling them on his
they're like taxi drivers,
when this other
it's like Uber, but they're on little motorbikes.
heard Lanre's voice, he put the phone on speaker so the others who were concerned could hear what was going on. And what they heard was Lanre, totally hysterical, screaming into the phone that he needed help. He said that he and 8 other people he was with, who he didn't even know, had been kidnapped, and their kidnappers had brought them to this underground prison cell. They couldn't see anything.
What you think was going
they
on?
could hear people walking above.
No, this is crazy.
Yo, what's good, Unitas?
That when they had been kidnapped, the captors
this about to be
had
some
taken all of their belongings.
some
we're gonna get into that later, cuz.
This would be some sacrifice black magic shit.
And so in between Lanre's frantic descriptions of what was going on and what had happened to him, these Okadas that received this call, they can hear in the background these other 8 people that are with Lanre in this underground cell screaming out as loud as they can, probably to get the attention of someone, anyone who was above ground who might be able to come down and save them. And so these Okada riders who are getting this call from Lanre,
we're gonna cover that, Unitas, the Tory Lanez verdict. We're gonna cover that.
Explain where he is.
We'll cover that next, matter of fact.
Him. And finally, Lanre, he does compose himself and he gives them really specific directions to this footpath that led into the Soka forest where he said he had been taken. The Soka forest was a very dense stretch of wilderness right on the outskirts of Ibadan. Lanre would tell them that he had no idea where specifically in the Soka forest he was. However, he said, if you just keep walking on that path, eventually you'll hear us calling out from underground and you can come and save us. And so as the riders turned on their bikes and they got ready to head out and go rescue their friend, they told Lanre to stay on the line. Let us keep talking to you until we find you. But as they're telling him that, his phone abruptly cuts out. And then when they tried calling him back, his phone was off. About 40 Okadas from Lanre's meetup spot took off together and sped down city streets until they hit this major highway that would take them out of the city. And then once they were out of the city, they went down this other road that brought them right towards the Soka forest. And then as this road put them right.
It's a great story, though, Unitas. This is a good story.
Forest, they all began looking for the 2 burned out cars that Lanre had said marked the beginning of this footpath they were looking for. And so sure enough, they find these burned out cars, they park all their bikes off on the shoulder of the road, and they quickly realize that this really is a footpath only.
There's
no way they can get their motorcycles onto the path, not only because the burned out cars are blocking their way, but because the path itself is so overgrown with vegetation. I mean, they can barely see the path, let alone drive something through it. And so the men leave their bikes.
I mean, if you missing though, we sliding
past the burned out cars onto this path. And then because it was so narrow, they had to walk more or less in a single file line into the Soka forest. So as these men are basically marching into the woods, they're not making any sound because, again, they're trying to listen for the sound of their friend and the other people that have been taken captive somewhere underground. Yeah. And so they're silently marching through this forest when all of a sudden the guy at the front of the line thinks he hears something way up ahead. And so he holds his hand up to stop the line, and they all stop and they're trying to listen. And then all of a sudden,
this is wild though, because it's like
this man,
they a crazy movie,
suddenly jumped out from behind a tree. He yelled something at them, and then he raised his gun and began firing in their direction. The 40 Okadas immediately turn around and just sprint back down the path, right back out to the road. They hop on their bikes and they peel back out towards the city. When they finally get back to the meetup spot they had all originated from, they realize they can't just leave Lanre and the other people he was with out to dry. They have to go back and rescue them. They considered calling the police, but given the lackluster response to the other 2 missing Okadas, they realized they're
like, fuck these
saving their friend and the other.
They lost.
If they
go find them.
Go find him.
Rounded up another 60 from other neighboring meetups.
They got 60 more Okada, bro.
100 men all hopped on their bikes and headed back towards that footpath that led into the forest.
But this ain't no these savages, bro, because these dudes got shot at and they still went back, and they don't got guns.
They ain't got nothing. They just got their little moped and hope.
No, they're gonna have some machetes on their ass. You know they got the machetes.
Yeah, that is true.
They're gonna have man machetes and bricks.
That is true. And fucking some good old daggers and you know what I'm saying?
They're gonna have some pokes. They're gonna have some pokes. You know? They gonna have some folks.
Guns, knives, bats, all sorts of weapons, and they were not trying to be quiet. They were actually yelling.
Oh, he said they had guns.
To let the gunman and any other gunman in the woods know that there was a horde of angry people that were coming into the woods for a fight. And so as they're marching down this trail, kind of expecting to get shot at any point, it doesn't happen. Instead, after quite a while, they walk out of the thick forest into this huge opening. And right in the middle of this huge clearing is this fairly small river, but it's big enough that it would be very difficult to cross. However, they can see there's a bridge, this kind of crumbling old stone bridge that
should give me Pennywise vibes.
And then on the other side of the bridge,
giving me some Chainsaw Massacre vibes.
There are 2 dilapidated buildings. The one that is closer to the bridge is this small black shack that has a window looking out towards them. And from their perspective, they're maybe 100 feet away from the shack. They can't tell if anybody's inside of this building. And then the other building was much bigger than the shack. It was this huge kind of broken down warehouse that had big, tall cement walls. And then all around it was this huge chain link fence with barbed wire wrapped around the tops. And so this huge posse of Okadas, they come storming.
That's a real image of the place.
On over to that bridge, which is the one way across. And as they get on the bridge, they're kind of scanning the 2 buildings. They're not seeing anybody. And then one of the men, they look down underneath the bridge and they actually see Lanre's motorcycle. It's lying on the banks of this river, kind of tucked up underneath the bridge as if someone had stolen it. And so everyone already knows Lanre is somewhere over here. We're going to go find him. And so the men, they
Shit
get over
sound
the
like a
bridge,
Walking
they
Dead
go to that
episode.
first building, that
On
large
it.
shack, and they open up the door. It's a plywood door, and there's no one inside. But the shack is literally stuffed full of hundreds and hundreds of articles of clothing and shoes. And so after kind of looking this over and not really sure what to make of it, the posse moved on from the black shack and made their way up to the fence right in front of this huge warehouse. And when they reached the fence, they're kind of expecting to be met with some sort of resistance. I mean, the last time they were out here, they got shot at. And so they
Right.
began yelling into the warehouse for anyone in
No,
there.
you don't see
"Show
what this
yourselves,
shit
come
is.
out here." But it was silent. And so one of the Okadas that was part of the posse had brought along bolt cutters as a weapon to use as a club if he needed to. But as it happened, he began to use the bolt cutters for their actual purpose. And he bent down and actually cut a huge hole in this fence so they could go in and explore this warehouse. And so after a large percentage of this posse had gotten inside the fence line, they began walking around this huge warehouse to try to find an entrance inside. And so as they're walking, the windows that lead into this warehouse, they're too high up, so you can't actually see what's going on inside.
And the
It's
wild part
silent.
is that these dudes actually went out
They
here to
didn't know
do
what
this
to make
shit.
of this.
It was like, no,
They
we got to
walk
find our
around
people.
the structure, and when they get to the very back,
That's how you know it's more than one person
all it
missing.
is this big
Facts.
rusted piece of
Facts.
tin metal, like sheet metal, that's propped up against a gap in the walls of the warehouse. And so one of the Okadas grabs this piece of metal and he pushes it out of the way. And then as soon as he did that, a few other Okadas quickly stepped through the threshold into the warehouse, preparing themselves to have to fight potentially if there are gunmen or anybody else inside that might want to do them harm. But as soon as they see what is inside of this warehouse, they immediately lower their weapons and just stare in abject horror.
What?
According to the locals who lived actually in the forest
Listen to this
relatively
shit.
near where this warehouse was, they said there was actually another way to get to this particular area, to get to the warehouse. There was another path that was very rough, but it was big enough for one vehicle that came in from the other direction. Now, the locals said they didn't use this path at all. They didn't even know where it originated from. But they said for the last 10 years or more, they have seen one vehicle use
10
this
years.
road all the time to get to the warehouse. And it was this black Jeep with black tinted out windows. And they said it would typically show up most nights of the week around 8 p.m. And they said it would just go down the road. It would make its way over to the warehouse area. And then around 9:30 p.m., they would hear or see the black Jeep leaving. Now, none of the
Hour and a
locals
half.
knew who was driving this Jeep, although they knew
Yeah.
it was a man. That was really all they knew. And they had no idea what this man did when he got over near the warehouse. However, for the last 10 years, every time this guy was over near the warehouse from 8 to 9:30 at night, they would typically hear screams coming from that part of the woods, coming from the warehouse. And when the locals brought their concerns to police, the police just kind of blew it off and didn't do anything about it, and actually told the people, "Nah, don't worry about it."
They
And
knew.
so
The police is bums all over the world, bro.
accepted
It don't
that
matter
this
what
man
country you in, the police
and
is
things
bums.
from this warehouse were just a part of life. And so no one even reported it anymore. Had the police followed up on the locals' concerns about this Jeep and the screams, they would have discovered that that warehouse was actually a storage facility for a very in-demand and very illegal product. And that man who drove that black Jeep, he would take this illegal product and he would bring it back with him in batches and he would sell it on the black market.
Listen to
When
this
the
product,
posse
bro.
of 100+ Okadas pulled that metal door aside and they stepped into the warehouse, they were not met with any resistance. Anyone that had been there, any other gunmen or guards or anything like that, they had fled when they heard the sound of this massive posse whooping and yelling on their way in.
Whooping.
So as these Okadas are standing inside of the structure, surveying what's in front of them, the first thing they noticed is right in the middle of the structure on the ground is this cement slab. It's about 4 feet by 4 feet. And one corner of this slab was elevated slightly by some rocks that had been placed under it, kind of propping it up, pitching it on an angle.
That's a
And then
different
just
type of
off of the
engineering.
side of the lowest point of the slab was this wooden bowl that had dark stains inside of it that was positioned in such a way that if you put water on the slab, the water would drain off of that corner directly into this bowl. Basically, it was there to catch any runoff from whatever was happening on this slab. Around this cement slab, all over the dirt floor, were bones, some with meat on them. And then beyond the bones and beyond the slab, all around the perimeter of the inside of this building, were extremely malnourished, catatonic people chained up to the walls. These people were the highly in demand, highly illegal product. More specifically, their body parts were the product. In Nigeria, a stunning number of people believe that certain magic potions and charms will grant you wealth and success, and in some cases, infinite life. But the catch is the herbalists who will perform the magical rituals.
That's a real photo of a Nigerian herbalist.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, bro, yo, cuz that's what I'm saying. As soon as he said slab, I was just like, wait a minute. And in the bones, you already know something crazy about to go down.
Bro. It's outrageous.
But
bro.
this man got he's the pharmacist of the group.
Well, he's a herbalist, you feel me, right? So like, he he a herbalist, spiritualist, he do potions,
So he a shaman.
Exactly, a shaman, exactly. But with all the stuff is good and bad, right? So this dude in particular we're looking at in the image, which actually is a good shaman, right? Or a good fucking Obalawa, whatever, right?
How you know about his feathers?
I mean, because they wouldn't be taking pictures of the ones on that dirt. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. The ones who really out here like that.
Potions and charms to people that pay for them, they often require human body parts for them to work. And so human body parts.
He got me with this. They often require. That's trash. Not true.
Forest were established in order to meet the high demand of people that needed these parts. And so the way it's believed it worked at the Soka Forest warehouse was the man in the black Jeep. He would get orders from people that wanted specific body parts for their magical potions and charms and whatever else they needed. And he would make a list of those parts. And
yo, Joseph, good looks for tuning in, but
the warehouse,
this shit crazy.
Communicate with the people that worked
they
would determine out of all the captives they had, who had the parts they needed. And then after figuring out which captives were going to be used that night, they would go into the main section of the warehouse, and one by one, they would unchain these people. They would drag them to the center of the room, and in full view of all the other captives, they would put them on the slab known as.
He is a Navy SEAL, absolutely.
And they would hack off the required body parts and would bag them up, put them in coolers, and then the man with the black Jeep, he would take those parts and he would leave. And then the person who's just been butchered, if they were still alive and might have a chance of surviving, they'd just be brought back to the wall and chained up again. If they did not have a good chance of survival, then they'd be brought to the very back of the warehouse in the back rooms where they would be discarded. Now, the means of execution varied, but in the back rooms of this warehouse, they found a makeshift guillotine, which cuts off people's heads, and they also found a large crocodile that was chained up.
Let's give him. You can't make this shit up, bro. You can't make this shit up. They were using a crocodile as a garbage disposal.
To eat the heads.
No, to eat the bodies in general. They was like, all right, man, this nigga here, we gotta get rid of this motherfucker.
He's technically the closest thing to a motherfucking dinosaur. What he gonna do?
Feel me? Feed his ass to Mutombo. You feel me? Mutombo go. No. Feed his ass to Mutombo, bro.
Discard of the people they could no longer harvest organs from. After the Okadas kind of broke out of their initial shock of what they were seeing inside of this warehouse, they went around and began freeing people that were still chained up to the walls. And in total, there were 23 people that were still barely alive, still inside of this warehouse, but none of them were Lanre Sadiku. And then after checking all of the dead bodies and body parts that were inside of the warehouse, and then also right outside, where there were a number of shallow mass graves, they couldn't find Lanre amongst them either. And so this huge posse began looking all over the property for an entrance to this underground prison that Lanre had described being in. But they couldn't find it. And so eventually this posse made their way back over to the survivors who were being tended to by locals that had come over. And they asked the survivors.
He looked like he done seen some shit, bro.
The been on some shit. Look how skinny that man's is. Yeah.
You can
look
see
at his hair though.
But
look at his hair though. You feel me? It's like his hair is clearly overgrown. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like if you know anything about if you know anything about Nigerians, them niggas normally keep they hair be on point. You feel me? They normally keep it clean cut.
Bro, so I got a question, bro. So like how Americans, you know what I'm saying? Like on your ID, like if you're an organ donor, it'll say you're an organ donor. You know what I'm saying? So who's to say that this is technically not the same thing, but like within their culture is just a little bit more Aztec-ish?
No, bro. These Nigerians been over here since forever. This before the Aztecs. They've been doing this
So
shit.
this is their version of organ doning.
No, they're not organ doning, bro. These
He said, no, they're
niggas-
not doing this.
Nah, these motherfuckers is out here kidnapping people and cutting off their fingers and tongues and shit to get wealth. But what's spooky to me, right? This is the spooky part to me about it. This whole thing is that if they got a warehouse and a factory this big, you know what I'm saying, full of all these people and shit, that shit might be working.
Working in what sense?
That shit might be working. Like whatever spell them niggas using with them fingers and toes and tongues.
Whatever black magic you talking about.
That shit might be working. Why they got a whole fucking factory if it ain't working?
What if it's just like another Manson case where he just gets into their head and it's just what they're
No, bro, bro, this is like
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I'm just telling you, it's not. This is the other side of African spirituality, right? This is.
I'm a spiritual person, so
what I'm saying is like whole wars was fought over this between the tribes and shit. You know what I'm saying, right? Like a war would be fought over shit like this. You see what I'm saying, right? Like back in the day, back before colonization and shit, right?
Yeah.
Like an African kingdom would go to war with another African kingdom over this shit right here, right? And it happened before, like historically, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. Like, what if the spells and shit's working?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, when you look at it on that angle, yeah, I mean, you do got a point because it's like it's not going to be. They're not going to be doing that, and it's not happening for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying, right? I mean, of course, niggas could be buying it, right? And niggas could just be buying it, right? You know what I'm saying, right? But like, from my personal experience for the African spirituality,
yo, and honestly,
right here, them spells and shit be working, bro. So like, like Santeria, right?
That's what I was just about to say. So if anybody's Puerto Rican or Hispanic with me in here, you know we got an auntie that be doing Santeria and brujeria.
Yo, but Santeria all is based off of African spirituality. Santeria is literally from the African slaves who were in South America, bro.
I believe it.
And we can pull it up on here. We can pull it up. Santeria have the same gods as the gods in West Africa. Mm-hmm. How the fuck do they got Shango in Mexico and in Puerto Rico when they have Shango in Nigeria?
In Nigeria,
right? And they pray to Shango in Santeria, but they call him Chango with a C. But in West Africa, it's Shango with an S. Right, but that's the Latin that made the shit a C or some shit, right? But whatever.
How about I fuck it up right now?
And Ogun and all that shit.
How about this? It's made with a SH for shackle, and then it's made with a CH for chains.
Shut up, bro. No, because Shango, no.
Think about it.
No, bro, because he's like the god of like war or some shit, bro. Like he was
around here where other people.
Shango's before that nigga, bro.
Survivors either didn't know or just
you whitewashed.
And so
don't make me turn the Sharif in this bitch.
Because word got out out in the
Shango was before Aries, nigga.
That's why I put this video. Once I seen this title,
digging up this entire property.
Let's watch. Phenomenal shit.
This underground prison cell, Lon Ray and 8 others, and who knows how many others beyond them are trapped underground in these cells, and we got to get to them. But the police just kind of refused and immediately just demolished the warehouse. And then after kind of cordoning off that area for a couple of days,
that's fishy, ain't it?
Left and stopped caring about it altogether. And so the Okadas once again came together as a community and would spend the next several weeks going back out to this forest and just manually began digging up all over this entire property in hopes of finding their friend and the rest of these people that were trapped underground. But they never did. And so we don't know what happened to Lon Ray and the
fucked up. Them motherfuckers died on the ground somewhere, probably.
We don't know what happened to the other 2 Okada riders who went missing right before Lon Ray.
Or the motherfuckers drag them all out.
Likely were kidnapped.
Because peep game, they would have been screaming and you better hear them. You feel me?
We also have no idea how many people were butchered inside of the Soka Forest warehouse. However, given the massive amount
of real video from inside the warehouse,
inside of the Black Shack, it's
a lot of those spells do be working. Like, listen, I believe in that shit, bro.
No one has ever been officially held accountable for the atrocities that took place.
But it's not over. Something else happened, I think, on the story.
A couple of days after
watch this shit
was discovered by the Okada posse, the posse was back digging, looking for Lanre, when they discovered there was this man who was there, who was kind of walking around, acting suspicious. And so the posse confronted him, and it would turn out this guy had several human tongues in his pockets, along with dozens and dozens of cell phone SIM cards. And so, assuming he was part of whatever happened there, the Okada posse proceeded to kill the man on sight.
They murdered his ass. They got up. They're like, "Yeah, you got something to do with this shit, and we're not hearing nothing else about it. You got tongues in your pocket. You're dead.
Fuck the SIM cards, right? It's just the tongues.
It's the tongues.
But
it's over with. It's over with.
Listen,
over
man,
with. Murder.
Me working for telecommunications. This is crazy that you like. What you got? Mad SIM cards on you, bro? Like
they just found a container with clothes for hundreds of people.
But my man's had mad tongues.
Yes.
This sound like a Resident Evil boss.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Rick Ross, artist Gunplay, said that he did voodoo to be his murder charge? It was crazy as hell because he detailed about the problem. Yo, bro, Unitas, I don't know if you heard about it, but like they be saying Young Thug got a fucking staff, like he got a magic staff.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say, man. Hold on.
His magic staff ain't working too well.
How she got kidnapped. She said she lived in Ibadan. She was well educated. She had a good family. She was just sitting outside of her house when all of a sudden this van pulled up in front of her, and these very official looking men were inside of this van, and they got out and they told her, you're under arrest. You got to come with us to the police station. And the woman was so confused, but the men were very professional and seemed very convincing. And so she got inside the van, they shut the door, and they drove off. And very quickly, once she was inside of the van and couldn't go anywhere, she realized they were not police. She had been kidnapped. And within the hour, she, along with several other people who had probably been kidnapped in the same way, were stripping their clothes off right outside of that black shack on the other side of the river. And they were told to put their clothes and belongings inside of the shack while they were being held at gunpoint. And then once they were naked, they were promptly marched into that warehouse where virtually everyone around her would be butchered and killed. So that's going to do it, guys. If you got something
crazy as fuck,
haven't done this already, please offer the like button.
So that's like that. Like that's it. Like
that's it, bro.
So
that's it. Because
is this still a thing?
It's a thing. So what it is this. Then that's why I'm saying that this shit probably works. You feel me, right? Like, first off, right? African spirituality, right, has been going on for like 25,000 years, like before Abrahamic religions, right? So they've been doing this shit long before anybody picked up a Bible. You see what I'm saying, right? Long before anyone picked up a Bible, long before anyone had but long before any of that shit.
Even before the Hebrews and all that, bro?
Yes, before that, they've been doing this. Before that, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, 100% facts, bro. Because Abrahamic religions didn't get to West Africa until recently, right? Until recently, right? We're not talking about Ethiopia. We're talking about West Africa. Yeah. No, bro. Like, nah, bro. So they've been doing African spirituality there for much longer than Islam or Christianity. All right, and they're still doing it. So for them to still be doing that shit, right? Some got to give, because I've seen some of the good spells and shit, the good, some of the good ceremonies and shit, and I've seen that shit work. I've seen motherfuckers I've seen some of that shit work, right? And if you look at it that way, right? If you're like, okay, well, I just saw these people, kill a goat, like put some motherfucking oranges on a thing, do a dance and all this stuff.
They do be doing like fruits and shit like that.
Because you gotta give to the particular deity that you're trying to appease, right? But the thing was that Abrahamic religions did sacrifices until recently, right? Like Islam and Christianity, they did sacrifices. Like the Hebrews still do sacrifices. They still kill chickens and shit and put the blood on stuff, right? Like the Jews still kill chickens and shit and put blood on. Like they do that. They still do sacrifices to become like a rabbi. Like you got to kill a chicken and they got to throw the blood around your head and stuff like that. But that's the same thing that they do in African spirituality, which is weird, right? Like,
what is it?
that's what Gunplay was saying, that they killed the
What
chicken.
is it of that blood though? Like, what's?
Well, I'm not 100% sure because I'm not, Obalawa priest. I'm not.
You
You know what I'm
ain't
saying?
sacrificed a chicken before, guys?
Nah, I ain't did that, so I can't give you a direct answer. But you feel me? I know that.
You ain't get lit one night and just shower yourself in chicken blood?
Nah, bro. But what I do know is that you got to, from my understanding of African spirituality, you have to give something to receive something.
So it's like the soul stone in the Marvel universe.
I mean, it's like
I see
I
what
don't
you
know.
mean.
I don't know.
You remember I forgot what movie it was, but
you got to appease your ancestors, though, right? Because
Gamora
they
walked
don't.
up to Red Skull.
Because a lot of times they don't look at the deities as like gods and stuff like that. Yeah, they do, but they look at them as like ancestors. You feel me, right? So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
So
Like
it's
it's not
spirits
like
that carried over with enough wisdom to become power.
exactly, literally though, type shit. Like motherfuckers, like literally. G, hold on, bro.
It's a little different. I'm gonna pop this video off though for the peoples.
Verdict is in. Tory Lanez found guilty on all 3 counts in his assault trial, where he was accused of firing gunshots at Megan Thee Stallion.
I'm a victim. Like, I'm the victim. Like, I'm not defending myself against anything. Like, something happened to me.
I feel like she capping.
Less than a month after court proceedings began, the
You
Canadian
feel like it, but that nigga got guilty.
He faces more than 22 years in prison and possibly deportation.
It said 22 years.
Jesus Christ. I didn't know it was that much time.
22 years. And deported.
So I know he already had more charges and shit.
Yeah, for the people who don't know, like, Tory Lanez, if y'all questioning the whole deported line, he Canadian. You know what I'm saying? So, but 22 years, damn.
You shot me. Stop lying.
Prosecutors alleged that in 2020, Tory and Megan left a pool party at Kylie Jenner's home when Tory fired shots at Megan's feet after she exited the car they'd been riding in.
Why her
They
feet
reached
though?
out and said, Megan is ready to talk.
Back in April, Megan spoke to Gail about the incident on CBS Mornings.
All I hear is this man screaming. He said, dance. And he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God. He shot a couple of times.
Look at her face.
So is he in the car shooting?
I mean, I'm not a psychologist. I don't know. You can tell someone lying by looking at them all the time.
If I take
But
pause. Give me the power to pause. All I'm gonna say is this: they be saying, like, when people be talking and stuff like that, like, if you look to the left, you're lying. If you look to the right, you trying to remember something.
Oh my God, and that nigga fucking a behavioralist.
Hey, man,
nigga, fuck out of here, my nigga.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man.
Nigga, you not a fucking
when you was growing, when you was I ain't no CIA or nothing.
You know what I'm saying? You're not no motherfucking.
But I'm just saying, like,
you're not no
behavioral science
fixer. Like, you ain't no motherfucker.
A fixer upper.
No, you know what a fixer? I'm saying, nigga. You don't know, nigga. Come on, man. Why you playing with me, bro? You not no.
Listen, how you going? Lefty loosey, righty tighty. You feel me? Like, if you look to the left, you lying. If you look to the right, you right. You feel me?
Bruh, you be on that wild
shit. He could shoot me and kill me.
Tory was charged with 1 felony count of assault with a semi-automatic weapon and another count of carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle. Last week, Megan got emotional during her 4-hour testimony, at one point saying, quote, "I wish he would have just shot and killed me if I knew I was going to have to go through this torture."
How is your life?
Okay, now that's ridiculous. Pause that.
Hold worse.
Sound like you just got a bitch mad and she can't fuck you no more.
That's absolutely ridiculous. That statement right there.
Man,
now that's ridiculous as hell. I heard a lot of shit, but that's ridiculous as hell.
Listen, to the viewers out there, I'm not choosing sides. This is more or less like the situation. That's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? When I see things, it's more to just the, like, I gotta try to see the realism behind it and plus people behavior. And I don't know, man. I feel like she's doing a little too much.
Yeah, I don't know if he hitting the pill on the ass.
My relationship with people is
Listen.
it's gotten very cold.
After Megan came forward with allegations, she soon faced an onslaught of critics on social media.
What do you say to people that still don't believe that you were actually shot?
I don't
We
think
gonna see,
any of this
cuz.
is for them. Like, it's
We
for
gonna
me.
see.
Like, I know this happened to me. And I'd rather it play out in court and the facts come out and everything comes out than me having to plead my case.
Because I think she was just fed up with the narrative that's out there. She wanted to control her own story. You know, this is what's so sad to me is that there's videotape, there's a medical report, there is a police report, and there are still people that are trolling Megan online. And I think she ignored it for as long as she could. I really do believe that. And then I think it just got to her. And so, for better or worse, she said, I want to say something. Hopefully people will believe her, but now she can at least say, I stood in my truth and I told my story.
So what you think, man? You're not even here. So I don't know how to really feel about this situation. Like, you say you think his appeal is his golden ticket, but it's like we all know the system's fucked up, man. Even if they tell you to do some shit, motherfuckers still gonna fuck you over. You know, so I don't. It's weird. It's strange. It's strange. Because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he just good like a week ago or some shit like that? And then now all of a sudden it's just like, by the way. And you know, I seen a video earlier of his dad's reaction. I'm actually gonna see if I can try to pull that up to see, you know what I'm saying, so y'all can see this. They on let's just watch a short real quick.
I just stood here in this Los Angeles County and witnessed the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro.
Bro, first off.
And the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z. Yes. You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Tao and Alex Bart.
They met on Saturday before.
They met with our witness. And then the man came back. I just stood here.
He going crazy.
Hell. He is mad as hell.
Crazy. Oh, how do y'all feel about that though? Me personally, you know, I'm just saying I can't see Tory not being found innocent in Cali, but I can see him winning his appeal. But I could be wrong. I mean, yeah, I can agree with you there. But do you feel like this is where money comes into play, and he's just gonna possibly try to
1 second, bro.
make a move and probably fly out elsewhere where his law can't touch him? I mean, like, that's been a thing since regular serial killers. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know that a certain law can't pass in one place where you close enough to take a trip and, you know what I'm saying, just parlay over there, and like now it's a whole game changer. Now technically I can't touch you because you under the rights of somewhere else type shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking a little too deep on it. Tomato, but this is still something nonetheless, though. You feel me?
And even though we've come to this juncture,
But these niggas always calling on God. And that's my point right here.
I know that this is wickedness. This district attorney, Miss Kathy Todd.
He sound like he trying to preach.
Yeah, he a preacher or something. His daddy got to be a preacher or something.
It gotta be. He giving off too much. I'm your pastor. Please give me $1 in the offering vibes.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's strong. But man, how do you feel about it though? Keep it real. How you feel about it?
Personally, I feel like Tory shot him.
You think so?
Yeah. But with the evidence, I couldn't say that. Right? If you look at the evidence that I've seen, I wouldn't be able to say that for without reasonable doubt that he did. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Let me see what we got here for some shit for y'all. You know what?
Bro.
Let's look at this. My man left Starburst candy and vodka for a week.
Yeah, bro. Let's run some of these reels, and after this, I gotta hop off of here. I gotta do some family stuff.
That's fine. That's fine. You let me know when you're ready, man.
All right.
I'm leaving Starburst and vodka for a week, or until something interesting happens.
You look like the type to do that.
Don't he though? Real talk, you like this bartender dude I used to work with back in Chicago. Get his fucking name, actually. He was a bartender, DJ, fucking dude. Looked just like him, but he was shorter though.
Separated by color.
I would have took that pink, that yellow.
No, the red one is the best one, bro.
I like red, but
that red one right there is the heat.
Look at that. That alcohol that ate away at that sugar.
Mm-hmm.
It is not Flavor Town. It just tastes like Starburst. That also tastes like a Starburst. Only one way to find out. Well, I'll be damned. Tastes like a Starburst. Oh, this one's big and goopy. That one tasted the most like a Starburst. It's time for a shot.
Did you drink that?
Yeah.
I would too.
Right?
I can't even lie. I can't even lie.
Yeah. I'd take a shot of that, bro.
That looks beautiful.
And they
actually.
look great, though.
Yeah, right?
It's not bad. It's just not like, it's not as flavorful as the lemon should be, you know? That one is way better. Wow.
See?
Long
Pink
shot.
is the best, bro.
Stupid hat.
See? The pink is heat, though. I like the pink. The red's my favorite, though.
That doesn't fall off. Dibosia.
What's he saying? Some Harry Potter shit?
Divosia.
Okay,
I think so.
orange is significantly worse than yellow. Tasted like an old juice box. Dibosia. Ooh, okay. That cherry has a really distinct flavor to it. Cherry-like. 2 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. For a
See?
club,
I ain't gonna gap, G.
I'm gonna start promoting y'all on IG. Y'all, we appreciate that.
Appreciate you, bro.
Real G shit, man. For real. Thank you. Any little bit helps, bro. Any little bit helps.
I'm leaving a jawbreaker.
We like mixing it up, you feel me?
Nah, we not about to do the jawbreaker. The jawbreaker is crazy.
No. I sent you a few other ones.
Yeah,
The jawbreaker is wild.
Right now.
Do the Cheeto John.
Yo.
I'm leaving Flamin' Hot Cheetos and Sinferno Cinnamon Honey Spirit for a week. Or until something interesting happens.
Like, y'all can kill me if y'all want, but his shirt is fire.
Bro, he be that shit.
That shirt is fire.
Heat. He wilding with this fucking chip with the Cheetos.
Well, it's actually been like 3 weeks because spice and laryngitis don't mix. What? The smell is impeccable. Bone apple tea.
That's nasty.
It's time for a shot.
That shit made me motherfucking twitch.
Greasy.
That's nasty. That's like 1,000 calories.
Oh, there's a little delay on the cinnamon there. What the heck is this combo? This shouldn't have worked. This is like the most absurd.
He drunk right now.
Drunk as hell. He drunk as hell.
He's faded. All right, this nigga done took a
Look at
whole
his fucking
motherfucking
face, bro.
pickleback off a fucking hot cheetah.
Right? Look at this. What the fuck? No, bro, but the shirt, my boy, like if he had like a jacket over it type shit, you know what I'm saying? But it depends on his pants and his kicks.
Yo, cuz I'm telling you,
what I'm
listen,
saying?
man. I'm gonna tell you why I chose the shirt, bro. Me personally, bro.
He Puerto Rican, bro. You know, they be on there
It's
like
not even about
all
me
that hip
being Puerto
action.
Rican, man.
Them niggas got mad hip action,
Listen,
shorty.
man. That shit right there, bro. Most people be scared to wear shit like that because you might be scared that you can't piece it together, bro. But like, I like loud shit because I know I can fuck that motherfucker up, man. Like I know I'm gonna be good. You gotta trust yourself. You gotta wear the fit. Don't let the fit wear you. You feel me?
Shut the fuck up.
Gang.
It's just ugly as fuck.
You know, I'm blown away. 10 out of 10.
That's crazy.
Right? He said that shit was fire, boy.
He said that shit was fire. Like
Shit was
he would
good.
do it again.
Right?
What's this? The world's hottest gum?
Yeah.
Nah, this is not.
Bro, you know, as I can tell you, I know you is,
The world's
shorty.
hottest piece of gum in habanero garlic vodka for a week. Or
Habanero garlic vodka.
I don't even do white.
This is
Yeah,
16
me neither.
million.
But I would take a
Liquor.
shot of that. No, I was gonna say I would take a shot of that of the fucking liquor just because it sounds so wild.
Is there dust on it? That's ridiculous. I fail to believe that just happened. I can't breathe. What the fuck? This is stupid. Oh, I gotta put a cap on this. Oh. Top it off with a little Inferno spray.
That gum that hot ass gum shit gonna kill a motherfucker.
Pause. That nigga just got he got a hot sauce spray.
No, he put a gum in there, like a hot gum.
Yeah, bro, but he just had some spray that contains some type of Scoville. It kind of remind me of that shit from Undercover Brother.
Oh
Remember
my
when he made
god!
he made the watch with the hot sauce.
Bro, Undercover Brother, one of the best shits to ever come out, bro.
Ever,
I don't give a
bro.
fuck with Eddie
Ever.
Griffin, nigga. Like, come on,
Ever.
bro. Like,
You say.
remember they had that whole scene where they like had the mayonnaise and shit, and it
And
was
it
like,
just drip, man.
and it was
nasty
just
from his-
jiggling, bro. Oh my!
That's what made me hate
God.
mayonnaise, bro. I can't
Me
do that
too.
shit,
Like,
bro.
it was like nigga, the sound.
I'm set, baby.
And now we wait. Well, it's been over a week, and I still don't want to do it. The challenge is to chew this and blow a single bubble. It's lost its color. Bon apple.
Oh, that's gonna be terrible, bro.
God, no. Oh! Oh, no! Oh, no, no, no! I can't blow a bubble. Are you kidding me? Oh, my God.
See, I'm not taking part in no shit like that because I like spicy foods and shit. You feel me, right? But like, I don't like pain.
Me neither.
You know what I'm saying, though, right? I don't like to be feeling uncomfortable. I
I
don't
don't
like
want
my
to put
stomach
nothing
hurting.
in my mouth. Pause.
Pause.
I don't want to put anything in my mouth that I can't sustain. Too much.
My bad, G. Even though you paused this, shorty, I couldn't hold
It's,
it.
I know, man. I know, man. Like,
You said anything I can't sustain. What the fuck? Like some of
people bite out something, you just like, God damn, like, I can't even enjoy this motherfucker. I done spent $13.75. I took one bite. I want to do this shit again. Like, man, when I was back home in Connecticut, bro, there was some fucking spot. All I remember was the logo was a red rooster. A red rooster. That's all I remember. That shit was my demise. And me talking to myself like, yo, I could fuck with spicy food. Like, I love it. I bought that shit. I got inside the car, man. I took one bite.
Damn.
I threw away the whole thing. I could not do that, bro. It's like, who does that? Who
But
does
they
that?
couldn't sustain it, dog.
I
That
could
is
not sustain-
crazy.
Yeah, that sustain word was
wow, that was crazy. All right, let's
get back to it.
Let's keep it pushing, G.
My face is melting. Oh my god, it doesn't make any sense. It was a little piece of gum. It's time for a shot.
You take a shot of that, you can put it in your stomach. This motherfucker gonna be shitting out fucking fire.
He got ice cream, cuz.
I don't wanna. Digestion.
I feel bad for his digestive system.
Nah, bro. Nah, bro.
Oh, my entire body is shutting down. Oh,
I believe it.
No. 0 out of 10. Negative out of 10.
Yo,
Bro, he's gonna have the worst time in the bathroom later on.
that's not cool, bro.
Jesus Christ.
I'm leaving the world's hottest piece
Oh,
of
man,
gum
hold on,
in
hold on.
habanero garlic vodka for a week. Or until
My
something
boy.
interesting happens.
All I can tell you, G, is
This
that
is 16 million
I
Scoville.
never,
16 million Scoville.
This one goes out.
I'm straight.
I never.
What is this?
I don't know. I thought it was wild as hell.
This thing got a triple claw?
Yeah. Banger banger.
That's like the extended clip.
Yeah, bro. What they call that shit?
Hold on. I need to
Oh.
see I need to see this right here. This one really caught my interest. Just the
All right.
title of what you sent me is crazy. I apologize.
Today
if
we're
y'all
taking a look
seeing
at a
that triple
TikTok
claw.
doctor who lost her medical license from some TikToks and some patients
They
that
couldn't
had
sustain it.
This doctor, well, doctor in the
That's what you got right now, huh?
That's what I got right now, bro.
Yo, listen, man. I remember growing up. You remember growing up? You remember Pee Wee Herman? A little weird motherfucker in the fucking suit.
Yeah.
Remember when he would have like the word of the day, and whoever say it, you just start screaming. So it's like sustain is like your word of the day. Like you just hear that right now, and your brain is going crazy.
Yeah, I can't deal with it. All right, let's go.
In the past went by the name of Dr. Roxy, and she had over
Merry
850,000 followers on TikTok, which is now private, conveniently. But from what I can tell from looking at her re-uploaded content, it seems like she used her platforms to promote plastic surgery. It seems like 90% was like a funnel to get more clients in general, and then the other maybe 10% was for aspiring plastic surgeons. In an article by Distractify, it says the state medical board took issue with Dr. Roxy's social media usage. One of the biggest draws of Dr. Roxy's TikTok account is her raw depiction of medical procedures. However, the board deems this practice careless and dangerous, with records stating her focus was often on the camera instead of the patient. According to the board, Dr. Roxy's consistent documentation of cosmetic procedures poses a severe threat to patients and the public. Now that's horrifying, the thought that your surgeon is more busy making a TikTok rather than actually operating on you. It goes to show you that social media is even rotting the brains of some of the most educated people out there. Well, that sounds crazy, but where's the proof? Because I wanted to see some evidence of this, and she did make it a little bit hard to find because she did private her entire account. But thankfully, there were some re-uploads, and it's terrifying.
What's she doing? Liposuction? Making a fucking TikTok video?
But
she's not
the article wasn't even exaggerating. Her focus wasn't even on the patient. It was all on the camera pretty much. This video makes it seem like her TikTok content is more important than her own patient's life. That's awful for the person who's being operated on here, but she actually reacted to this clip here.
So that was me. Back in July this year at Roxy Plastic Surgery in Columbus. That is Dr. Roxy, Dr. Growy. She did that, like I said, back in the summer. She did my chin lipo, which is coming back.
Peace, bro.
Sucks posting without people's consent, which I did consent to her recording.
You too, bro. Thank you for tuning in, man. Have a good night. Merry Christmas, guys.
She's talking to the camera. She's talking to people across the room. Just not paying attention.
Excuse me. And that's a patient.
We've botched a lot of people's surgeries. I wish I would have known this before I went there, but
Yeah, that's not who you want as your surgeon. This is terrifying. A new scary consideration we now have to make in 2022 is when I go into surgery, will my surgeon be busy making TikToks while operating on me or
Right, now I
not?
gotta think about that.
I guess this is just overall an L for the younger generation, because if we're gonna like make a chart of like least likely to most likely people and making TikToks while they're operating on the table, because I guess sadly I'm now going to want to opt for a older doctor, I guess for experience number one, but for number two, it's less likely for them to make a TikTok while they're operating on me. And I guess if worst case scenario actually die on the table, they're also less likely to make a TikTok dance while I'm laying there, because that's also happened. Man, things really went downhill quick after TikTok became a thing. But in regards to the article, what we just read isn't even the craziest allegation. The wildest thing about this story is Dr. Roxy's clients were told not to call 911 when they experienced post-surgery complications. What? Following a patient's tummy tuck and breast surgery, she claims her drains weren't working in the recovery house. Despite this, the nurse practitioner urged her not to go to the emergency room. According to Runyon, that was the patient, she still can't stand up straight and is paying for additional surgeries to correct the damage caused by Dr. Roxy. I thought Dr. Roxy was the best because that's the way she made me feel, Runyon said, but I should have dug a little bit deeper. I guess this is just one big wake-up call saying, hey, don't pick your doctor off of social media. But there was another patient who came out with a TikTok talking about her experience where apparently the same thing happened.
Powell, surgeon known for TikTok videos, has license suspended, aka the plastic surgeon I just got my job from literally a month ago. In one of the news video, the reporter said that past patients accused Dr. Roxy and her post-op team of being negligent because they encouraged them not to go to the hospital whenever they realized they were having complications or had any concerns. And that was so crazy to me because that literally happened to me. But naive little me wanted to trust that they had my best interest, and thank God I trusted my gut. So basically this is what happened. I got a breast augmentation and I am pretty positive I got an infection. It looked crazy. I'm not going to show a picture of it because I don't think it's on TikTok. I'm pretty sure I know when things are normal and things are not normal, even though I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert. So I went to the doctor. He confirmed, like my primary doctor, like my normal doctor that I see for checkups and stuff like that. He checked it out. He confirmed, yes, it appears to be an infection. So I called the doctor and just let them know. And by doctor, I mean Dr. Roxy and the post-op team.
This is what?
It's not an infection. It's just the stitches expelling from your body. You shouldn't have gone to your doctor. He's not an expert in plastic surgery. He wouldn't know what it looks like and what it doesn't. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure.
He know what an infection looks like?
If somebody's telling me that my doctor don't know how to be a doctor when he a doctor, is getting me tight.
If they gonna tell me that my doctor don't know what an infection looks like, well, I know what an infection.
When I'm a basic human being and I know what it looks like an infection.
So I'm going to my doctor just to confirm. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's just infected." You know what I'm
Definitely
saying?
infected right now, man.
Right?
I'm really glad you came right now because you're really infected right now. You're infected right now.
He's not lying.
And they're gonna look at you like, "Why the fuck did you go to him, bro? You really think he know that you infected or not? The fuck?
He gave
like
me
a doctor. Does he look like a doctor to you?
Shorty, I'd have spazzed out on everybody. I'd have spazzed. I'm like, yes, like a fucking doctor.
Where it comes from, like an infection's an infection, right? So I totally feel like they were trying to gaslight me and make me feel crazy for going to the hospital when I thought there was an issue. And thank God I trusted my gut.
Yeah, this is just baffling. I mean, it's sad, but I guess this is just another example of gaslight girl boss. Nah, your doctor doesn't know what an infection is. They probably don't even have 800,000 followers on TikTok. Obviously, she didn't say that, but when picking a doctor, followers don't mean anything. I feel like a lot of people blindly trusted her and gave her a lot of credibility just because she had a lot of followers on TikTok. The only thing a large follower count shows is they're consistent with uploads and they know how to make content that people will watch, which are definitely not qualities I'd look for when it comes to picking a doctor. I wouldn't want Mr. Beast operating on me, no matter how viral of a video that would be.
Yeah, that'd be fucking ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Who's next to be absolutely botched while I make some TikTok content? I was also like a little bit surprised in how she marketed herself, especially in a video like this.
Hi, it's Dr. Roxy. How do you know if you need a breast lift? I am going to tell you about a very important test. It's called the pencil test. And all you need is a pencil.
What?
Thank you. This is best done in front of your mirror with absolutely no clothes on, but we don't want to get kicked off of TikTok, so we'll show you the shirt.
Bucket
You
naked.
take your pencil and you'll put it right under your breast
Put
fold,
that
of
shit
course
right
with no
underneath
clothes
your
on. And
tat.
if your nipple or your breast is below the fold, you need a lift. As you can see, she does not need a lift. But if you take your pencil and put it underneath your folds and the breast tissue and nipple are hanging past the pencil, then you need a lift.
So you tell me
So,
just because
now it's
Shorty
time
got
to
some
take
nice
your test.
busty breasts,
Did you
it's
pass?
her fault?
Pretty sure a B
Like,
cup
it's
would
her
fail that
fault,
test. Essentially, she has the audacity to say that most women need this cosmetic surgery, which just sounds insane to me. If you want to do cosmetic surgery, you do you, but don't let someone who's going to profit off of you talk you into doing it.
Yeah,
I also
no,
found
for
this
real.
old TV clip of her.
This is the first time you've been here on the set, so I want to talk a little about your practice, about what sets you apart at Roxy Plastic
You
Surgery.
look like Britney Spears
Well,
from the
I think there's
side.
a couple things. One is we are all female, so we really
Toxic.
make people feel very comfortable there. The women feel like they're at home. They can come in like they're at a spa, but they get to talk about anything they want to, completely.
Bro, this is my
Folks
thing,
seriously need
bro.
help because
Motherfuckers be
don't call 911 because that might hurt my business. Oh, you almost lost.
And I go to my barber and I just let anything off my chest and I'm good.
so you gotta get a breast augmentation for like 10 grand.
I gotta lift my fucking glutes because I'm depressed today and I need
Yup,
to
'cause
get
you're
some off
sad.
my chest.
Boo
Lost your
fucking
life. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review. Overall, this is just insane. But what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Man, Dan, since you get up off of here, bro. Let's wrap it up with this right here.
Yeah.
Start over.
I found my Pokemon.
You know, my dad told me a story once. I don't know if this is true or not.
Yeah.
Because do you know what Japanese used to do to us? I go, no, because I'm a kid.
Yeah, and you're like 8.
I'm 8.
And you're like,
They
oh,
used to hang-
lollipop.
They used to hang Korean by the ankle with a rope. But below, they take a big pot of boiling water. Then they dunk Korean in, and we come out, right? Because every time Leia's skin gone, right? And he goes, good night.
Mother. You
My
gotta,
dad told me a
you gotta
story
stay with that image in your head. Like, these people are burning. We got boiling water. Dunk them
He goes,
in.
good night.
They come crawling out, nothing but flesh. Sweet dreams, son. I'll see you tomorrow. Like, what?
Oh shit, man. But yo, we gotta get up out of here, man. We
Yo,
appreciate
thank you
y'all
to
for checking
everybody
us out
who joined
tonight.
in, man.
For sure, for sure. We appreciate y'all, man. We're gonna try to get another stream in on this holiday
Maybe
situation.
tomorrow.
Maybe.
You never
maybe.
know.
Hey. All right, brother. It was a great stream with you, man.
Later, dude.